Today, we're going to talk about how to make yourself feel better if you have any pain in your lower body when it comes to your bottom of your foot, all the way up to your hip or even your low back. Odds are, like me, you've been told by a doctor or someone else before in the past that you have to wear orthotics and there's no way around that. Or if it's not your orthotics, you have to wear certain clothing or whatever it might be to help yourself out, whether it be like maybe an ankle brace for when you're playing sports or anything. But that's not going to be the case. That's just a Band-Aid that happens. So I was in the same boat. I had an injury where my doctor told me I was never gonna play 100% of my sport again, and I have to wear these certain orthotics that cost an arm and a leg. I have to order them and get them from Florida. Anyway, they were great at first, but then I decided I can't accept the fact that I always need to wear this. There's no way that's true. So I started doing more and more research on like some stuff and learn more about my body. And if you have pain and if you are someone that's wearing orthotics, don't accept that as like your fate. If you just stick to that, it's only going to get worse throughout time. This little video is going to help you guys find out, one, more about your body, and two, help strengthen, help release some tension in your lower body that's going to make you maybe get back to the way you used to feel. Great news, we're all probably stuck at home a little bit more than others, and this is now more than ever. This is going to be a good time for you guys to start not wearing your shoes that you think you always need to wear or the orthotics. Start to strengthen your feet and learn about it. That's what this whole video is going to be about. We're going to start with from our toes all the way up to our hips and kind of play with the muscles and joints between all that. And all you need today is a lacrosse ball or a baseball or a softball. I like the small dense one. A tennis ball, if you're really in pain, the tennis ball is softer. And then a foam roller. So we're going to kind of bounce between these two and work everything we can. And hopefully at least you get a part of the puzzle that is the reason why you have pain. At least you're aware of it, or now you're feeling better to get past that. So lacrosse ball, we're going to use that on our foot. That's going to be because, one, this is smaller, and two, our foot is too. You have to hit these certain tissues. Now, I drew on my foot today. I want you guys just to see this. This is a part of your foot. This triangle is kind of where the tendons all connect. This is like the meat and the strength and the big part of your foot you want to work on. It's your arches. So when you guys step on the ground, these guys on the side, the longitudinal ones, they are the ones that keep your foot into place. And the top guy, that's the one that can help your foot kind of crunch and to help creating a bridge actually to happen. So we're going to kind of release all that stuff. You might be somebody that doesn't have to tie. This is for you. This could be something that maybe you don't have any pain, but your foot's collapsing and you don't even know how to turn on those muscles. Or it's vice versa. If you're someone who has shin splints, maybe all those muscles in your feet are just way too tight and you have to release them. So it can help turn on the muscle and it can also help release the tension. So we're going to start out by stepping on that. If you see where my foot is, these black lines, that's the meat that we're trying to roll through. I'm going to start right at the tip of my heel and dig in all the way to my pinky toe, then go across towards my big toe and back down towards my heel again. I'm trying to make an actual triangle the whole time. After a few more reps of this, you're going to see I'm going to pin down my foot. So I'm going to keep going in those circles just to wake up my foot. And as soon as I kind of feel like I got all the crunches out, you might feel a little bit. Now I'm going to pinpoint a spot. In that midfoot, you can see my big toe is pointing down. I'm pressing down. You can even stand up for this. And then all I'm doing is, while pressing down, I'm going to lift my feet up and stretch it out. There's this fascia down there. You got to wake up sometimes. So you can do it with another spot, pin another point down, point the toes down, and go ahead and lift back up. And I'm going to keep playing with different spots of my foot until you're ready to move on. But once that happens, and you find that last spot, for me, it's actually way closer down towards the bottom of my heel. That's where all that fascia connects, and that's where I feel the most of it. Pinning down, breathing out as you reach up. So while I'm doing that one, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my other foot. With this other foot, if you're doing nothing, you can start to just move your ankle around. If you can do two things at once, great. If you can't, go ahead and plant this foot. Roll that triangle out again. You're going heel to toe, across to the other side, and back down. Keep making that big triangle. Once you feel like you're warmed up your foot enough, pin down again and stretch out. Pin and stretch. Keep pushing as hard as you guys can down. If this still is too big of a ball, you can even get a golf ball. That's even more of a pinpoint. If you have a sharp pain in a certain spot, that's probably your go-to. Keep on opening up that foot. Next thing we're going to do after you guys finish both sides is just actually start to move the ankles around. We're going to start by just doing a gas pedal up and down. So both feet can go up, flex your shins, down. You don't need to hold it very long. This is just to move a little bit. After we do a few more, we're going to do out, in, out. Think of the calf raises we do sometimes in class. We'll go out here with it, and we'll go pigeon toe, point in. Just get your feet to move up and down here. And then the final one is we're going to be actual circles. You can do one at a time if you don't want to feel like bracing your core, or you can make it a core workout and do both of them at the same time. You can go ahead, pick clockwise or counterclockwise. After a few reps, reverse it. Now, don't just shorten the range of motion. A lot of you might not even have this mobility in your ankle yet, but that doesn't mean don't do anything. You got to start somewhere. Even if it's small little circles, start somewhere. Right. As we finish those circles, hopefully you didn't get too many cracks in your ankles. If you had some injuries in the past, that'll happen. We're going to move out of the ball and into the foam roller. And this time we're going to go to the calf and then the shins. So with the calf, go ahead and pin yourself down. I'm going to point my toe down first, roll through the whole thing, right below the knee to right above the ankle. Toe points down. Then I'm just going to point my toe up as I roll. So I'm going to start down, roll up, point toe down, roll up, and my ankle's flexing as I roll towards you guys. Same thing, now we're going to turn our foot to the inside, kind of roll my whole leg into that internal position. We're going to roll through the calf again, toe down to start, and then switch to as you roll up towards your body, point your toe up. Pushing all that weight down and pulling up. Same thing on the outer side. Point your toe down through a few times and then start to actively flex. Keep doing that. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Toe down to start. Once you're ready to point the toe up, start flexing as you're rolling. If you don't feel much, you can always stack the legs, put more weight to press down harder. Point the toe inside. Then outside. This next one is going to be for your shins. Now, there's different ways you can hold yourself up. If you don't feel comfortable doing it just on the ground, you can rest your elbows and your arms on like a couch. But we're going to take this foam roller. You can either rest your body here or put all your weight, one leg or both. And from here, point your toe down, roll. So you're not going to be on the shin bone. You're either going to be on the inside or outside. And now you're just going to roll. I'm keeping my one knee down and pressing through. Same thing as you're rolling, ankle flexed, and then point and release. After you do that inside, go ahead and try to get to the outside. This is probably where most of you guys are actually going to feel it. Pointing that toe down helps. Breathing out, going through the whole entire shin. Again, most of that meat that you guys are going to get to is not going to be on the bone. It's going to be off to the side right here. Go ahead and switch. On the outside part, I'm kind of on my toe. It helps me get the angle better. But on the inside, I can rest my knee and rotate the other way. There's going to be spots you think you're really sore on, but don't stop there. Go through the whole thing. I want to roll all the way to right below my knee and back up. All right, now that we have the shins down too, we're going to do a little bit of a foot stretch. You're going to feel your calf and shin working. This is something we usually do at the end of class to stretch out the calf. But this time I want you guys to think about your toes. If you're going barefoot, it's definitely the route for this. Before you actually put your weight down, put your big toe down first. Separate your toes, then put your other next toe and your next toe and next toe. Make them as wide as you can so you see gaps in your toe. From there, I'm going to press down on that so you get a nice stretch in your shin, nice stretch in the bottom of your foot. Cross over, go to your toes, then relax down to your heel. The heel's going to stretch out the calf. The further down you go, the more of a calf stretch you're going to get. And then you're going to put all your weight up on your toes. kind of mess around with which part of your foot needs to stretch the more. I like to roll my ankle out and really get up there and back down. One more time. And down. Let's go ahead and switch. Heel down to start. Get that calf stretch. And we're going to go all the way up to the toes, stretching them out. Make big gaps. Stretch out the bottom of your foot and roll back down. One more time, all the way up. Shifting around, feel your big toe hold it, then all the way to your pinky toe, and back down. All right, so we kind of hit from our ankle, our foot, all the way up to our knee. Now the next thing we're gonna work on is gonna go into a little bit of our IT band, a little bit of quad and hamstring. I don't wanna waste too much time on this. So the IT band, you can use a foam roller. If you're not that sore, the lacrosse ball is gonna help pinpoint that down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and use this. Odds are you guys have this. So we're gonna start right above the knee, ankle flex, and then like we do the warm up, take this foot and bring it in front. From here, I'm gonna roll all the way to my hip, and then all the way back to my knee. Do this a few times. If it's sore and really tight, hold on to a spot, but keep going through the full range of motion. You can stop for a second, but dig through it, through it. And before we switch legs, I'm gonna go ahead and roll back, go into my hamstring. If you guys aren't that sore here, that's fine. Just hit it, rotate your whole leg internally, externally, find the entire hamstring, all three of them. And then we can go all the way to our quad, flip over, same leg. Now, if you guys are someone with tight quads, and this actually might be a lot of you who are sit down a lot, and you get some knee pain, this is gonna be a good one to stretch out the quad. Go right above your knee, and then as you're rolling back, drive your heel into your butt. All the way, all the way, all the way. And then release back down. Right above the knee, start to bend it, press through it. All right. After that side, let's go ahead and switch. So we're gonna start with the IT band on the other leg. Put that foot in front and roll through. All the way to your hip, all the way to your knee. Hip to knee. After you guys do a few more, we're gonna go right to the hamstrings. Point your toe down. Don't just let your leg be stiff. Think about all the little parts. By flexing your foot, you're gonna hit something different. By pointing it down and rotating, it's a little bit different of a spot each time. Play with your position. Find something that's actually effective for you. And then I wanna go ahead and get that quad. I'll show you from a different angle. So now, I'm above my knee. My opposite leg's kicked off to the side. Just roll through all the way to your hip. You might feel like a tight spot, but get through it and past it. After that last one, now bring the heel up behind you and release. Again, if you have knee pain, you have to get really up underneath that, right above that knee. Even if it's just right here, finding the spot that helps get through. All right. Now that we're done our quad, we're going to take you guys through a little bit more of the hips. And this is going to be the one that I'm going to go back to the lacrosse ball for. So with the lacrosse ball, think about our pelvis and the way it works. All the muscles connect to bone. So what happens is that little tight spot right on the crest of our hips, that's the part that's really tight. So it's not going to be necessarily your butt or your quad. That's probably tight and sore. But the points that really trigger, those trigger points, are the ones really close to the bone. So I'm going to start you guys off with going right into like the top of our butt. So you're going to lay on your back, roll over a little bit. There's a bone right here on our low back. You can kind of take your fingers and go off to the side a little bit and really high up on the top of your butt. Take that lacrosse ball, roll over, and pin it down. Now, I'm going to use my opposite leg to push into it a little bit more, and that pressure you apply, it should feel like a pretty sharp pain. Not something that you're like uncomfortable to the point you have to jump out of it, but it is uncomfortable. Take a deep breath, put all your weight on it. If it's not exactly there, you might need to roll a little bit more onto your hip, onto your side, but you're gonna find whatever part of your glute that's tight. Max is gonna be, your glute max, the big one's gonna be laying flat. Your glute med is if you turn off to the side. Now I know for me, the side angle is gonna be a little bit more, but what I want you to do is find your spot. When you guys get there, pinning down, take a deep breath, exhale, and lift your leg up. And back down. If that wasn't your favorite spot, I'm just gonna turn my body a little bit here. Like I know right now, this is my spot. I'm right inside the hip socket. Deep breath, and raise that leg up. Get to the point where your leg's almost shaking. You wanna be pretty uncomfortable, control back down. Apply a little bit more weight on it, relax that whole leg, turn it off for a second. Exhale. Let it up. And back down. Move away from that spot a little too if you need to. Move away from it. We're gonna go all the way to my side now. So I start on my back and I'm just pulling across that whole crest. Breathe it out. I'm trying to apply the entire insertion point and all the way down. So now that I'm back in the position that I was in earlier, I'm gonna bring my knee up and then I'm gonna bring that knee out to the side and back up. That ball is still in that spot. Out to the side, back up. And I'm rolling through it too. As you guys finish that, if that's all you can handle on that side, we're just gonna flip over. Same thing, opposite side. We're starting really tight, high, next to your spine. From there, press in. Again, this is not on your back. It is right on the highest part of your butt. Start there, raise the leg, breathe out. On the way back down, turn the angle a little bit more. Raise the leg up. Relax down. On the inside, this is definitely the part that's hardest for me. And down, one more turn. Jeez, and down. Let's do it again. This time I'm gonna bend this leg and do more of like a clamshell, opening it up. Turning in slightly, and rolling through. Now guys, if this is the first time you're doing that or you're really tight, I could spend 15 minutes just doing this one spot because of how tight that gets after time. Especially if you're someone sitting down all the time. These muscles are always in that stuck position. So releasing them, stretching them out, and activating that movement is just gonna stretch it out even more. That little tightness can be pulling on everything. That could be causing knee pain, as well as if your foot is collapsing. You've heard me talk about that 100 times. When you're doing things, if your foot does not maintain that little shadow you guys see and it goes away, that's a foot collapse. Now all of a sudden your Achilles is taking way more of the load than your shins are, or vice versa. So when things happen, if you guys don't know how to keep that position, even when you're squatting and lunging, you still see that. But if you're someone that does this and it turns off, that means somewhere else is taking all that force. That stiffness absorbs a lot and it kind of retracts it, keeps it away from your body. But when that collapses, then your joints, your shins, muscles that aren't supposed to take that load start to. And then over time, repetition, people end up with pain. They end up with things that they really can't get out of. Like their knee might constantly just roll in, or your hip might always sway weird when you're running. This could even affect your posture and your neck. If you have neck pain out of nowhere, it could be the way you're walking. So let this kind of all apply to everything you're doing. And we're gonna take all this stuff that now that we're released and warmed up, we're gonna get everything a little bit stronger. So we're gonna start with some balance stuff. You can stand up for this just for the video's sake. I'm gonna keep it low. I'll show you guys from this angle. Right now, I'm gonna be starting a lunge. Let's bring that foot to get the arch going. Now from here, all I want you to do is hover over your knee and shift your weight forward and back. For the first few reps, just be aware of it. How does it feel? Where you guys are feeling it? Is your foot arch staying? And then we're gonna talk about weight distribution. But for now, lunge. If you can't hold this position, just stand up and do it. But we're here, shift your weight forward and back. Forward and back. Check out your knee. Is your knee doing this in that movement? Is your knee caving in and coming back, or is it aligning pretty well? That's one part of it. Also, be aware of what part of your foot you're using. When you guys strike your heel, you want to be kind of on the outside edge. As our foot rotates and pronates and does all this fun stuff, as you walk, that stuff needs to happen. So we're starting on the outside heel and we're finishing off on the big toe. So there is some movement happening, all right? So now what we're gonna do is think about that movement to start. So I'm gonna be on my heel, weights back on my back leg, shift forward on my toe. Right there, heel, toe. And I'm controlling every inch of my foot there. Do that a few rounds, get your leg really tired, switch it up to the opposite side. Starting that lunge, shift your weight back, all that weight's on the heel, then move forward into your toe. Heel, toe. Throughout this, if you're someone that feels pain in your Achilles or pain in your shins or somewhere, think about when that's happening. Maybe it's back here or forward. Observe when it's at the most painful and then apply that back to the way you walk. Are you in that position more than others? Are you avoiding that completely? And just see how it's affecting things. And then go ahead and go back to the ball, go back to the foam roller and release that spot and try again. It takes time and practice, but it's the only way to get better at this kind of stuff. Don't accept that you're gonna wear orthotics or wear that certain kind of footwear you always got going on. Change things up, go barefoot, and feel things out. It's the only way to get better. You guys are at your house, so you don't even need to wear shoes anymore. Feel it out. All right, next thing we're gonna do is strengthen. After that balance series, is we're gonna go ahead and go into our hips strengthening. Think about our warm-up. If you're someone who's tight and you guys come in and already have limited mobility there, your warm-ups, you're not getting much out of it. So do more here with this kind of stuff to get more out of it during the warm-up and the workout. So we're gonna start with those ankles flexed for a second, and we're just gonna point them down. From there, shift your weight back, feel all this stretching out, and then we're gonna go up and down, stretching out. You notice I'm leaning forward right now. After that, you can lean back and forth. My butt's not down, I'm not resting all my weight in my ankles. In this position, I'm still keeping some muscle engagement here. As I go back and forth, I'm playing with my shins. And I'm gonna go a little higher up. Back, forth, and then the last one, on your ankles, flex the toes, back, forth. After you guys get that, your quads are working, your hamstrings are working, we're gonna go ahead and start a very simple movement. We always know these ones, it's a fire hydrant. But first, if you guys have a camera on you or a mirror, look at my back real quick. From here, this is overarched, this is rounded, my weight's forward. Find a neutral position with your pelvic tilt, control that position, and once you guys are there, strengthen the knee. Watch this. I guarantee you half of us do this part. Watch my hip right here. When you guys are in this position, I'll get my arm out of the way. If you guys go to swing, and as you swing, your hip is shooting in or out, unstable right here. If you guys are moving that up and down, you're not using, the drill's completely almost useless, and you're just affecting, and you're letting that get worse reps. And you're kind of going the wrong direction. The hips need to lock into place. When I do a swing, watch this knee. When I swing, it stays right in place. I don't want it to move much. Easy to have this happen. If it shoots out, that's turned off. So just be aware of that when you guys are doing your fire hydrants. You are working on how stabilized your knee and your hip are to each other. How much of a straight line can they be? Your hamstrings turned on, your glutes turned on, everything is working to keep that in place. After you do that side, same thing. Right here, not just the leg going up, it's the leg down, your stabilizer, right? Think about anything we do. Single leg deadlift. Are you so worried about what the back leg's doing? The one that's on the ground is the one taking a lot of the load. Stabilizing, even in fire hydrants. After you guys do your fire hydrants, we're gonna go into going on our knees for this next one. So we're here, off of our knees. So we're here, hip is neutral. After the swings, pick the knees up off the ground. Now, is your back rounding or is it staying flat? Pick one foot up and tap the opposite hand. Tap, tap, slow and steady. Breathe out when you're doing it. And just be aware how much your body's turning back and forth. So the hips need to stay level. They're gonna move a little bit, but you're working on your hip mobility with that one as well. All right, final thing we're gonna get through is all the movements with the hips. We're gonna do forward circles, reverse circles, and then straight leg ones as well. So the forward circle, it's not this. We are gonna go calf tight to hamstring, straight back, rotate, and bring that around. So back, which puts our glute into a contraction, rotate, which contracts it even more, and then driving that parallel knee and back down. So back, out, down. Still focusing on the opposite leg, not letting it wiggle back and forth. When you're done, switch sides. Now this hip needs to stabilize. Don't let it shoot out. We're going back, out, and around. Keeping the arms straight, chin tucked. After a few reps, we're going to reverse it. Now we're going to go out, back, turn, down. Controlling that movement and switching sides. Out, back, down. Smoothing it out as best you can. All right, and then the final one is that straight leg raise off to the side. So here, plant the foot, adjust your arms. You can see my hand and my knees. My knee and my hands make a V. I'm balanced there. Now go ahead and bring this leg off to the side. If you guys can't raise your leg here, then don't do it on your leg. Do it on your knee and go back to this position. Or then bring your leg out a little bit further and further. But if you get your foot out there and everything else is all jacked up, it's not worth it. Arms stay straight, relative. Don't lock them out, soft bend. Plant the foot, deep breath. This hip is staying way more engaged than you think. Squeeze it tight. That glute is already turned on. We're gonna go up and down. Up and down. One more. Up. You guys can do as many as you can handle, and down. But if you are feeling this muscle just completely locked up and it's so tight it hurts, that means take the foam roller, take this lacrosse ball, go back on that hip exactly where you felt that, pin it, release it, release it, release it, and then try it again until you feel a little bit better about that. And then switch sides. But this one right here, with that breathing up, that's like you pinning down this tight muscle, pin it down, and then forcing the stretch to happen when you go up. It's like taking Play-Doh and stretching it out a little bit more. And it's only if it's super, super tight, not if you're feeling good. Don't overdo that. And then take the opposite side. Same thing, foot flat. You might feel some stretch on the inside. If that's the case, you can kind of shift back before you start. And we're going up, down, up. Notice I'm controlling the way up and down. Don't just yank it and drop it. Last one, up and down. All right, good work today, guys. Enjoy that. If you feel a certain spot, message me about it. If it's your calf or your shin or your Achilles, I've heard some people talking about, let me know. I can give you some more detail on just that part as well. But go through the whole thing. Just because you have pain here doesn't mean that this is the issue. It could be bothering you because your hamstring or your hips aren't in the pelvic neutral position or your foot's collapsing. So think about other spots other than where the pain comes from. All right, have a good one.